Here at Sonic Pond. There's Sonic Drive-In, there's the pond. We call it Sonic Pond even though it's named something else. And I started out doing some pond fly fishing, but it looks like that other pond I was at, Bethany Ridge, or aka Kroger Park, well, wasn't much movement other than maybe a few bass that were in the feeder creek, and they did not want to play. So I decided to go ahead and take out the Ultralight Baitcasting gear, Light Feather Kingfisher, along with that DIY inline spinner. That's the one that I used yesterday as well as the day before. And well, I had a little fun catching a few bass, smaller bass. But hey, temperatures in the 70s compared to what they were yesterday. And let's see if we can catch a fish or two today. All right. Now, all I'm going to do is just a slow retrieve, steady retrieve, making sure I just can feel that blade moving through the water. And that's what seemed to have worked yesterday. So I'm hoping that will work again today. And I'll start out kind of blind casting, but I will start shifting in closer. All right. Steady retrieve, kind of working it through the shallows here. And I'm trying to work my way over here to this one corner. Don't know how much time I have to fish today, so I'm gonna kind of concentrate on this end first and then come back around and see where it takes us. Okay. All right, got some turtles, turtle. And using that high-vis 6-pound strand mono. No takers yet, no takers yet. More bass, or correction, turtle. And last season, I was able to get some decent sized bass here, but it's the first time I'm fishing it here in 2025, and it's actually the first time fishing it this year with the temps up in the 70s today. So I'm hoping that maybe I might be able to get something that might be lurking over here. Okay, let's kind of work our way over. Okay, just a slow, steady retrieve. Oh, we got some folks joining on the chat. Bear with me, one-man show here. Let me check out what we got. Okay, keep up the good work. All right, excellent, thanks. Where is this? This is Sonic Pond over here in Allen. I call it Sonic Pond because it's Sonic Drive-In, and this is the pond next to it. Easiest way to reference it. Okay, and yeah, I did get some pretty decent hits here in the past, but right now I don't know if the bass will be lurking in the shallows or where they're lurking in the pond. So we're just gonna kind of work our way around and see if we can get something to strike. And like I was saying, that other pond I was at earlier, I did not see much movement at all. So that just tells me fish are not in the main part of the pond. In fact, everything I saw was all in the feeder creek. Okay. But the other day at another pond, I did catch them on this DIY inline spinner setup. All right, I'm gonna start working the pond faster because I may not have that much battery power. So let's just kind of work our way here and see if we can coax something to strike. Got my polarized glasses on so I can maybe get a heads up when a fish is coming up and striking. All right. And I got to make my way around that one wall. And it's a little muddy, so I may have to actually come around back to the street to get through it because it does look slippery. Okay, let's work one up close to the bank in case something's lurking near the bank. Nope. All right. Yeah, it's really muddy. Yeah, I'm gonna go back around. Very muddy. Okay, so this is Sonic Pond. It's a more rectangular shaped. It's got two fountains that work really well. Got the whole place aerated. So yeah, in fact, here, let's just go ahead and fish this section and come back around. Maximum amount of time with our lure in the water versus walking around not fishing. So let's just keep plugging away, all right? And I did go to another pond earlier using the same gear I set up for where I fished for some trout yesterday. It was the 4-weight, 8-foot Redington fly rod, and well, I didn't see much activity there at that pond, so I was like, well, we need to go find a spot that has maybe more fish lurking about. All right, let's keep going. Come on, come on. All right, I'm using that Flight Feather Kingfisher, handing Magic L rod, 6-pound test mono, high-vis Stren mono, and a DIY inline spinner. Let me show you the inline spinner. It's one that I make out of some gear that I gathered up over the years. There it is, DIY inline spinner. It's got a longer shank here, so if I do hook into something like a bass, it's rubbing against this instead of the line itself. Let's see, my fishing next to that down. Okay, all right. All right, we'll just kind of keep working our way over. They may be lurking a little bit deeper since it has been cold lately, but right now we are in the 70s. We're in short sleeves. Yesterday it was in the, well, it was 37 degrees yesterday. Today it's 75, so, well, it's like the other day when I went fishing at another pond. I was breaking ice off the rod guides. But 2 days before that, I was wearing short sleeves. So, definitely get some temperature swings here. And I'm hoping that maybe the bass are in more of a feeding mode right now. Oh, there we go. There was a tap. Okay, okay. That's a start. Taps are good. All right. Taps lead to strike, so let's just keep going. It's a very light tap. I saw the lure kind of bounce to the right after the strike, so that's good. Okay. I'm just going to keep working it in. Okay. Just a steady pulsing move on that blade. In fact, let's go a little bit further out and bring it in. Okay. I'm going to slow the retrieve down too. It's a little bit deeper there, so I want it to go down. Come on, come on. And I have caught some decent bass here, as well as a 28-inch catfish. And oh, by the way, I released it, so anyone else hadn't caught it yet, there's at least a 28-inch catfish lurking in this pond, as well as a couple of 3 to 4 pound bass. And yeah, I haven't kept anything, so if you ever see me fishing on online here, and whatever I'm catching, you'll see me throw it back. So there's a good opportunity. Some of the fish that you've seen in these streams are still here. I hope so. All right. Okay, I'm still fishing it shallow, more at an angle to the pond. And we'll just keep walking the bank and see where it takes us. All right. I did bring some other lures, but they're mainly the ones I use for trout, super dupers and some rooster tails. I did have a crankbait prepped and a Ned rig prepped, but I didn't bring them. I decided to just stick with what I have here. And well, let's just kind of see what's here. Oh, there we go. There we go. Steady retrieve, about 3-4 foot off the bank. A little basalito, nice. All right, DIY inline spinner, and these are pretty fun, easy to make. Doesn't take me very long to make them. And what's also nice about them is they're fairly cheap to make. That well, I buy these in like packs of 50 and 100. So if you ever see me break off, and you'll see how I'll just kind of not really worry about it. It's because I know I can make about another 1 or 2 more when I get back to the casa. All right, so that's one bass. Working the shallows here. here, hit about 3-4 foot. So I'd say that was maybe about 2 to 3 foot of water. Or the water level in the pond's higher than it has been in a while, but it actually seems about the normal right now. We had a bunch of drought times, so it does happen. All right, let's see. Let's see some more comments. Let me answer the mail here. What do we got? Hertz finger, when is that? Oh yeah, nice. Looks like a Panther Martin. Yeah, it does look like a Panther Martin. It's the Panther Martin style blade right here. Okay. And I get them in gold as well as silver, and I think a size 1 and a size 0. The size 0 I don't use as much. That's really ultralight casting. I tend to use this size right here, this size 1, because, well, I've had some decent fish on it. All right. And I do like I think the hook I'm using is a size 6 treble hook, one of the Gamatsus. Come on, let's see if we can get another one of these guys to strike. All right, and you can see that no problem casting a 1/16 ounce or less lure on this setup. Okay. All right, and that guy hit it on a slow retrieve. Okay. And right now I'm kind of working the cast at more of a 45 to 30 degree angle and kind of doing a slow retrieve, just enough to keep that blade moving and hopefully getting a strike or two. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, let's just kind of work the pond, working the pond. Coming up into a more sunnier section. So during the summer, I seem to get more hits where it was where the trees and the shadows into the pond were sort of like some kind of change in color, temperature, or whatever, and that's where I seem to be getting a lot of the strikes during the heat of the summer. So I'm wondering if that's the opposite come winter time. Are they going to be out in the more open areas? Don't know. Maybe we'll find out here today. All right, what is this? Where I get good fish is right towards the middle. Okay, yeah, they're in the middle too. And we can cast that way too. All right. With this lure I'm using, it doesn't sink as fast as I am. I do use this one crankbait, the X-Rap, Rapala X-Rap, and that one does really nicely. It dies about, I think it's like 1 to 3 feet, but it also suspends. And what's nice about that is I can definitely, oh, there's a strike. Little fingerling. Kind of swipe that. Looked like a little bass again. Okay. And right now I'm fishing, or the wind is behind my back right now, so I'm able to take advantage of that wind to help me out casting. When I go the other way, I'm definitely going to have to re-educate my thumb, because with this ultralight gear, that change in wind in front of you versus behind you does affect the cast. A lot of times I'll end up getting a backlash or two. Okay, let's keep going. All right. Let's just kind of pop it out there and let it go. And just kind of work our way. Really just kind of enjoying a good day out on a Sunday where the temperatures are really nice, and sure does beat being indoors versus getting out and about outside doing a little fishing. Okay, what good and I'm missing that one. What is this? What good and reel combo do you have there? Oh, what rod and reel combo? I've got the Kingfisher, Flight Feather Kingfisher. It's one that casts 1 gram trout magnets out the box. And the rod is the Handing Magic L ultralight rod in the 4.5 foot size. And I do have a 6 foot version of it also, but I always tend to cast more side casts, so for these quick trips I'll usually go with a little 4.5 foot size. And believe it or not, I've landed on 2-pound test, a nice 28-inch catfish. I've got that in the YouTube channel, COAF Field Team. Let's take a look at it. Just one of the shorts I posted, I'd say, in the last year. And I think the thumbnail, you'll see a nice sized catfish on the thumbnail. All right, let's just kind of work our way here, see if we can get another one. So far just one bass, and then actually no, 2 strikes, but one of them I saw the strike, actually saw a flash. The other one was more of a bump and misdirection in the lure as I was retrieving it in. And I mean, I'm using that DIY inline spinner, Panther Martin style blade, and a steady retrieve, just like so, nothing crazy. Let's see, do magnets, oh, I gotta read that real quick, bear with me. Do magnets on reel make 1 gram lures go left as with the Zephyr BFS? Well, when I'm first tuning it in, I do have to make adjustments with the brake, but other than that, I don't do anything with the magnet. I leave them as is. With the Zephyr King BFS reels, not had much luck casting a 1 gram trout magnet with them. It's more of the 1/16 ounce. I did put on some high-speed spool bearings on one of mine on the Casking Zephyr, and I was able to cast out, instead of 1/16 ounce, I'd say probably more of a 1/24 ounce lure. Oh, there's a hit. Ah, he swiped it. But yeah, that and then the Shimano Scorpion BFS reel that I have, that's another one that it'll cast a 1 gram trout magnet, but it's one of these things where you got to do big time Kentucky windage. And what I'm saying is, when I cast it, I'll release here to my right at a 90 just to get it to cast in front of me. With this one, I just cast it just like so, and it's good to go. Main thing is you really just have to have it dialed in, and I tend to use 2-pound tests when I'm fishing a trout magnet on this combo. When I'm using 6-pound tests like I'm doing here, I'll usually just stick with the 1/16 ounce size lures. That 1 gram, you got to tweak it some, and with that lighter line, thinner diameter, and I guess less weight on the spool, I can definitely educate my thumb a lot quicker than doing so with a higher pound test, casting trout magnets with this thing. Other than that, there's no other than tweaking the spool and the brakes, you don't really need to do anything else to them. It definitely handles it no problem. Okay, you can probably see one of my videos where I'm using this setup for some fishing trout magnets. I think I used it to limit out last year for the first limit of the year last year, 2024, fishing Waterloo Park Pond in Denison. And there I was using a 1 gram trout magnet. I was using a 6-foot handing rod also though, or not also, but a 6-foot versus the 4.5-foot one. Okay, all right, I see some more comments coming in. Bear with me while I finish this cast and I'll go check it out. Okay, one-man show here, one-man show. What do we got? Let's see, greetings from Montreal. Howdy, howdy. Just throw in some dynamite. I don't have any. Trump be nice to us. All right, brakes I meant. Okay, yeah, you do adjust the brakes. 24, 25, sometimes I'll have to tweak it. I think there was one where, let's see, I think there was one I was fishing where I could knock it down to about 16, 17, but I noticed that it changes. It'll vary, and it's really dependent on the conditions. One set of conditions where I had to tweak it a lot, and that was because the wind was blowing in front of me. And that one, I had to make a lot of adjustments there before I finally got into that money zone casting. And when I say money zone, it's where I can do this. I cast it out, and there. I don't have any backlash. Don't have any overruns. That's when I know I've got that one dialed in. Okay. It's going to change here in a moment when I start turning the other way and the wind gets into becomes a headwind versus a backwind, I guess. All right, let's go back out. See how I'm doing that? And I'm not really touching the spool to slow it down much, because it's really just going out there on its own, no problem. That's the 1/16. You can do the same with the 1 gram trout magnet, no problem, once you have it dialed in. It's the dialing in that you got to play with. All right. But that was also the main reason why I got this combo, was I didn't want to do anything else to it. I mainly wanted just a stock rod and reel combo. And in fact, I don't think I've customized any except for that one casting Zephyr. And that was mainly just, I was kind of doing it on a whim, because I heard about it, these high-speed spool bearings, that they do make a difference. And I do say they do make a difference. It does get louder when I cast with one of those in the casting Zephyr. I'll cast it out and it'll make a definite noise, but it can definitely cast. And I think the main reason why you can cast a lighter lure with it is because it doesn't take much initial, I guess, inertia to start it up. The spool turning, it readily turns on you. So, and then I think there's another one of these videos I've done where I show you the difference between a stock one. I think someone was calling me out saying, oh, you're using, you're tweaking the spool on it or what. And then I had to show them I'm using 2 different reels, one with and one without. And then I think I convinced them then. Yeah, that is our motto for this. Learn to fish by our trials and errors, so you don't have to. All right, because we do make a lot of mistakes, and we've done a lot of trialing and erring. We've had some good success too. All right, and right now it's only 1 bass and a couple of strikes, and we're getting ready to go into the wind, so wind's going to kick up on us, and I'm going to have to make some adjustments and re-educate my thumb as I get into that wind. I may have to put my thumb down more to slow it down. Okay, what do we got here? Hello and good day. All right, dial this is key. Nice job. All right, thanks. Yeah, dialing it in is key. Appreciate y'all joining. I did try an earlier live stream doing some pond fly fishing, but that was a bust because that pond was not ready to be fished at this point. There was very little activity. And normally, well, it's also a shallower pond. So you tend to kind of wait till later in the season when it warms up and the fish start moving into the shallows. There's like a couple of deep spots there, and probably better to fish it with bait if you wanted to really fish that pond. Oh, got a bunch of turtles coming about. Let's just slow the retrieve down again, see if we get something lurking over here. All right. And I used to catch crappie in this one spot, but I haven't been able to catch one in about 5 years here, so maybe it got fished out, not sure. Okay, but let's go work this spot here. I'm going to work it slow. Maybe see if we can get something that might be lurking over here by the covert. That covert has a channel that looks deeper compared to the rest of the area, and over the course of several seasons, I do notice that I'm able to catch a fish or two in this spot, but it doesn't always happen. So all I can say is we just got to keep going now. All right, so here I'm starting to get into a headwind, so you might see a little bit more tweaking needed when I'm casting. Okay. And when I say tweaking, I'll put my thumb down more. In fact, see how it's coming out loose? So let's just walk it back real quick. Okay. And I may adjust the brakes. I may not. I may just gut it out and just kind of push my thumb down sooner than later, just because I don't really want to mess with it. I prefer just to hold and just re-educate the thumb, right? Because on that end, with the wind blowing behind me, I was able to take advantage of it and release without having to feather the spool as much. Here I'm gonna pretty much have to feather it. See right there, I got a little overrun. Okay. And if I start tweaking it, what will end up happening is I'll get to a section where I don't need it, and next thing I know, I'm not getting as good a cast as I want because it just has too much break. Okay. So, oh yeah. But anyways, this stuff's fun. I have had some good days fishing bait finesse, and I used to fish your standard bait casting traditional gear, but I think the last time I used it was when I went and down the coast and used it for fishing on the coast for some speckled trout, which I've already changed that up. I picked up one of those Shimano Corrado BFS XG reels and a Shakespeare Ugly Stick, 7-foot ultralight, and that is going to be the one that I'm going to be using for fishing live mullet under the lights here on the Texas coast, hopefully later this year. And the reason why I went with that setup is I wanted that capability of no hardware and being able to cast a light bait, in this case a little mullet, for distance in the Texas surf and under the lights at some of the piers that we have, and being able to hook into some of those nice sized speckled trout that are lurking there. I learned a few things from one of the guys that I met while I was fishing down in Galveston last year, and he gave some really good advice on catching some of these speckled trout that we were seeing under the lights. And one of the big things I took away from it was when you are fishing live mullet, that you want to use minimal hardware, because some of the bigger trout will see that, well, will not strike your setup because of all that hardware. So before I was using popping corks and tandem rigged spec rigs and getting my fair share of trout, speckled trout and sand trout, but none of the bigger ones. And when I switched over some live mullet and doing that technique where I don't use any hardware, I did notice increase in the number as well as quality of the trout I was catching. So some good stuff there. All right, we're here now trying to catch some bass and see what may be lurking here at Sonic Pond. And I'm now going into the wind, so I gotta, right there, play with the thumb, because wind does affect your casting various lures when you are using these ultralight bait casters. Okay? And all that means is really just when do I put my thumb down and feather the spoon or the spool, compared to going with the wind versus against the wind. So right there I'm gonna push down a little bit sooner. And what I'm feeling for is the vibration of the Panther Martin style blade. And then for those that just joined, let me show you again what I'm using. DIY, do-it-yourself inline spinner, right there. Right there. It's a Panther Martin style blade, longer shank, because what ends up happening is I hook into one of these bigger bass, and they get a hold of the line here, and it abrades against that sandpaper-like jaw, teeth, or whatever they have. Next thing you know, I'm breaking off. So I get a little leeway having that longer wire shank. Okay, kind of gives me a little, I guess a little protection. If I do get one, it'll be rubbing up against that wire or stainless wire instead of the mono, and just increase my chances of bringing in that fish. All right, let's get it out there a little bit. Okay, so far one little bass, 3 strikes, and other than that it's been slow go, but it's too nice of a day to be indoors. Got to get outside, man, especially on a 75-degree day. Short sleeve weather here in, well, 2nd of February, Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day, which I heard someone said that he saw a shadow, so 6 more weeks. 6 more weeks of some of this winter. Which I heard that here, we're going to get some warm temps here for about a week, and then we're going to be back down again in temps the week after. So, yeah, Texas weather though, things change on us fairly quickly. All right. Come on, Mr. Fishy. All right, so I'm going to work this section here, get back into that beginning section closer to the street. Get louder over there, but the water's shallower at that point, so maybe the water's warmer, and I might have an opportunity to get some bass that may be lurking there, where it may be a little bit more active. All right, but we'll keep working our way there because, hey, might as well fish our way to that spot. All right, I'm gonna slow the retrieve down. I can tell that it's a little bit deeper here by this culvert, so play it by ear, cast out to the left, come in, probably hear more wind as I'm walking into the wind now. Let's go cast out a little bit further. Okay. Let me do a little slow retrieve. Oh, there's a hit, there's a hit. Oh, he threw it, he threw it. Ah, man. All right, let's see. I wanted a Corrado. Oh yeah, Corrado, I do like them. I got the Scorpion BFSG from Shimano also, and I do have that Corrado, and I like them both. The other thing I like really about both of them is they can handle salt water. This one I wouldn't take in salt water. It's more of a freshwater outfit, and the Casking Zephyrs, I probably wouldn't take them either. That's more freshwater, but those Shimanos, the Corrado as well as the Scorpion, both of those are capable for salt water. In fact, I've taken my Scorpion out several seasons in salt water. Main thing is just rinse them off, lubricate them, you'll be good to go. And I plan on doing the same thing with that Corrado. And I am not, oh, my bad. Bad thumb discipline there. But oh yeah, I am one to not, I'm not very good at keeping my gear maintained as I should. I tend to just wash them off and maybe throw a little lube on there, WD-40, some silicone stuff or whatever, and then I just kind of fish them. And so a lot of the gear I have is not your high-end gear, but it is some durable stuff that I've had over the years, especially like the fly reels that I use, the Echo Ion series. I've got the whole series, the 2-3 weight all the way up to the 10-12, and not had a single issue with them. And in fact, the one that I used the most initially was a 4-5 weight, and I beat that one up. It's still in service, but I have since shifted over to a 6 weight fly rod that I use for most of my fishing, fly fishing, be it trout or striped bass. And that one I'm using a 6-7 weight, and that's the Echo Ion fly reel. Check it out. Been really happy. I got a whole video on that series, and there's one point where I think I dropped the fly reel in the water, and it got a little grittiness to it from the sand, and all I did was just dump it back into the river and wash it off, and I was back in business. And then I think there was another one where I was fishing, I think the Blue River one year, and it was so cold, the reel got iced and had some ice in the spool, and it kind of locked up on me, and all I did was just dump it back in the water. The water was warmer than the air temperature, and I was back in business again. So yeah. And then from a ultralight baitcaster standpoint, I got the Casking Zephyrs with and without the reel clicker. Been happy with that. And then the Shimanos, and then this one is just really my play rod that I like having handy in yours truly's vehicle. One of those ones that keeps some kind of fishing gear in my vehicle, so I'm ready to fish at any moment in time on a commute, let's say. All right, what else we got here? All right, let's keep going. So far, We had one just on there briefly. He was a little bit further deep, more in the middle of the pond, just like someone had suggested. So let's just kind of keep working our way along. And he threw the hook on me. I tend not to do the rip thy lips technique with this setup. I mainly just reel faster and tighten up on the line when I get a strike. The rip thy lip technique is not really needed in this case. Instead, it's just steady retrieve and reel faster, take up the slack, and let the fish hook themselves. And I am using Gamatsu treble hooks, so they're pretty dang sharp. Pretty sharp. All right, let's keep going. All right, let's go cast with the wind and just let it crank out. Look at that, okay? Take advantage of the wind. And what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of, what'll happen is as I'm casting in the wind, there'll be times where you'll start getting some looseness in your spool. So hey, just turn around and yank it out there and get your line a little bit more tighter, and then go back to fishing to the wind again. All right, because hey, every little deal helps. Okay. Yep, I do. I guess I would say this is one of those addictions where you get hooked into fishing, fly fishing, ultralight bait casting, you name it. It happens. Oh, look at this. I got an overrun, so let's go clear that out real quick. Let's take advantage of the wind and let it go, and let's go ahead and just kind of walk it out. Okay. So you see, I really don't even have a full spool of line on here at this point. I got about 70 turns on it. Probably could take more, but I don't put much line on here. 2 reasons: I can recover from a back cast quickly, plus it makes the spool lighter, so it does give me a little bit more extra edge in casting some of those lighter lures like the trout magnet. Okay, so I may not modify a stock rig, but I may make some adjustments like the size, weight of line I'm using, as well as the making some adjustments in how much line I'm using. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. Okay, I got some junk on it here. Let's clear that out. Junk in the trunk. Okay, what do we got here? Why don't you try fishing with a bobber? No, that's not ultralight bait casting with this thing. I got an inline spinner, and yeah, I'm not sure how you would use a bobber with an inline spinner, other than it's just going to sit there. I don't know. No, maybe if I went and was doing a jig fly hook or a bubble and fly setup, I would do that. In fact, I do keep a float handy for those situations where I don't have a fly rod, but they're taking flies. That's another technique that I like having handy. I used to keep it more at hand, but now that I keep a fly rod handy, I really don't need to do that as much. But I do keep one of those bubble floats in my fly vest, as well as in my fishing vest, just in case, because you never know. It's always good to have some kind of backup. Okay, let's see if we can get a bass on. Come on. Can't be just one. All right. We had about 4 strikes, 2 definite were bass. I had one on briefly, threw the hook on me, and then I did catch one. So let's see if we can get another one to hit, because it's kind of weird. These last few pond fishing trips, I've gotten 3. I went one day, I got 3. I went another day, I got 3. And today I got 1. So let's see if we can break the 3, or at least get 3 and keep the streak going. Okay. In fact, I probably could have done that if I hooked into those ones that I did lose. That would have been 3 right there. Go figure. Oh well. All right. So the casting in the wind, so I got to make some adjustments in the cast. feather the spool a little bit sooner than later. All right. Here I'll just kind of tend to walk out the line. If I see some looseness in the loops in the line here, or the spool, I will walk it out, as well as cast back downwind to go ahead and get those loops tightened. All right, let's see. Come on. We're starting to get into the upper part of the pond where it does get shallower, and I'm crossing my fingers that we might get more action because it may be warmer. Oh, there's the hit. There's the hit. Okay. That one tapped it. Come on, Mr. Bass. Yeah. All right. All right. Okay, so that's two bass. Let's see if we can keep the streak alive. 3 bass. So we just need one more to keep the streak, and then we can break the streak by catching one more after that. But hey, let's not talk about that. One fish at a time. One fish at a time. Gotta stay focused here. All right. DIY inline spinner. That was a little bit further out. Okay. Steady retrieve again. Steady retrieve. Wind is kicking up on me. I'm getting more looseness in the loops. So let me go bring this one in real quick. Okay. And then, like I was saying, wind is behind me. I'm going to cast with the wind. Just crank it out there. Let it go. Okay. And then I'll take it up just to tighten up on the line. Okay. So I tend to get a lot more of those loose loops casting into the wind, like so. And that's just a function of the wind being ahead of you and kind of slowing down your lure. And like I said, I could probably tweak the brakes to reduce that, but then I'm gonna have to retweak it again when I go the other way. So I'm thinking just gut it out and educate thy thumb more. Okay, so that's 2 bass. There's 3 right there. All right, not 3 yet. I gotta bring them in. Gotta bring them in. Come on, Mr. Bass. Okay. Okay, that's 3. Okay, so last 2 trips, now the 3rd trip pond ultralight baitcasting. I've gotten 3. So now we've kept the streak going. Yeah, we've kept the streak going. Let's see if we can break the streak with maybe a 4th one. What do you say? I say we break a streak. Come on. That's one of those streaks you do have to break. Nope, got some more comments coming in. What do we got here? Oh, no, same comments. All right, let's keep going. All right, 3 bass, nice. Okay, we'll just kind of stick with that steady retrieve. Just enough to keep that Panther Martin blade moving. I can feel the vibrations, that's good. Let's go and cast behind us here real quick in case maybe there's one lurking behind us that we missed. Or maybe coming up behind us. It's always good to check. Oh, I just saw something come up to my left. Let's go cast there. I don't know what it was. Come on, come on. Nope, nope, nope. All right, let's keep going. Let's go back out that way. Oh, got a lot of overrun on that one. Okay. We'll cast downwind again to clear the loops. Okay. Loops are cleared. Might as well fish this direction. Okay, so 3 bass so far. Streak going. 3 bass, 3 trips each. 3 bass each trip. 3 trips in a row. Okay, so now let's see if we can break it with a 4th bass. Bass number 4. Nope. All right, let's go this way. Yeah, there was one year I was catching these bruiser bluegill all along this section here, casting from the other side. And what was cool was I was fishing another inline spinner, but what was weird was I'd cast, and within seconds of it hitting the water, they were striking it. And there were some nice size, I'm talking bluegill bigger than your hand. At times, probably maybe almost double the size of your hand. I mean, they were some nice ones. Okay. And that happened about 2-3 years in a row, and then after that, I don't know, either they got caught or they moved on or they're somewhere else in the pond now. Who knows? This is one of these ponds that is not catch and release. It's actually a put and take one. So I've seen some folks come here and keep a few. I tend not to, mainly because, I don't know, I keep thinking pond runoff, you know, runoff water, all the junk that ends up in here. What's it do to the fish and the meat, and if you know what I mean. Okay, all right, we're coming up to the upper part of the water, or the pond, and let's see if we can get something to strike over here. Steady retrieve. Oh, something tapped it. Got a tap on that one. All right, tug is the drug. Tug is the drug. Okay, let's see if we can break the streak. It's 3 bass. We need a 4th, and we can break that streak. Come on, come on. Can we do it? Can we do it? Talk to Miss Smalls. Let's do it, man. Let's do some short casts here in the shallows. Steady retrieve again, kind of working it slow. Okay, it's gonna get louder here as we get closer to the street. There we go. Oh, it's not a big one, but hey, he counts. That breaks the streak there. Not yet, not yet. Now it does. All right, we broke the streak. 4 bass on the DIY inline spinner versus the 3 that we have been catching these last 2 trips. All right, 4 bass, DIY inline spinner. Good stuff. Okay, yeah, he wasn't a big one, but still counts. Still counts. Yeah, still counts. All right, let's see what else is coming in. What do we got? Hello, try under the bridge. So what happens at the bridge, there's a shallow area here about less than a foot deep. Then there's like a little indentation, and then it comes up, and then it becomes inches. So that bridge is actually dry, except for a few deals of water running through there. What you can do is work those little pools or those little, oh, there's another one, those little holes where they'll be lurking. And later on during the year, in the next few months, few weeks, we will get some nice sized bass starting to spawn, and you'll start seeing them building their beds. Look at that, look at that. Bass number 5, streak is broken. Now I just got to get him off the hook. Holy cow, this one's a little bit tough. Oh man. Okay, bear with me here while I get this guy going. He really went for it. Oh yeah, there we go. Got him. Okay, so bass number 5, DIY inline spinner. Man down, man down. Let's get him in. Let's get him in right there. All right. All right. Good stuff. So yeah, normally, yeah, you'd want to fish a bridge. In this case, it's better to fish this side of the bridge or of it because there's some holes there. Other than that, you got inches of water. All right. Other side is good for some bass, but unfortunately, you gotta be, or at least know someone who lives in that neighborhood, because it's a subdivision pond and is a private pond basically. So it's funny. This is a city pond. Across over there is a subdivision pond. Don't need permission here other than have your fishing license on this side. Other side, gotta have a buddy who can get you in there. And I have seen and heard some folks catch some decent sized bass over there and some nice sized numbers. All right. Okay, so 5 bass. We've broken the streak. Let's see if we can get 6 bass before we call it quits. All right. And there is Sonic. Okay, Sonic Drive-In. They got some burgers, really good slushies, and then oh, the Sonic Blast, yeah, which is more like a McDonald's McFlurry or like a Dairy Queen style goodness of, oh yeah, goodness. Oh man. Anyways, so it turns out you're not doing well fishing at Sonic Pond. You can always just turn around and get your, there's a hit. Ah, you could always turn around and get a bite or two. You know, I've been guilty of that. Okay, let's see what we can get here. Okay, there it is. Okay, got another hit. That was weird. I saw a little hump in the water behind it coming at it. I didn't see the fish, but I did see a hump coming at it, and I was like, ooh, that may be a fish. Oh, there's a hit. There's a hit. All right. Oh, he threw it. Okay, so maybe I was right. This side of the pond is a little bit more active because it's shallower and warmer. Okay. Or maybe I'm just getting lucky. Let's try casting again over here, see if I can get another hit. All right. Yeah, it's pretty cool when you see a little wake behind your lure, and then you see them actually commit to the strike. All right, and I had that one on briefly. Okay. So right now we've gotten 5 fish. Let's see if we can make it 6 right there. He's a bigger one too. Let me bring it down a little bit. Yeah, he's a little bit bigger. Okay. Well, he's not big, but he's bigger than the other ones. So. All right. Feels big on this little ultralight. All right. Okay, so they are kind of lurking here in the shallows, the shallow side of Sonic Pond. There it is right there. Okay. Fish on. And yeah, bear with me, I just got to get the hook out. Okay, all right. And, oh wait, let me loosen up on the rod. Okay. All right, so yeah, he's a little bit bigger than the other ones. But there are bigger ones here, I'll tell you that. I have caught and released some decent ones here over the years. And I'm pretty certain they'll be back again here sooner than later. All right, almost got it out. I just got to get it past his jaw here. Okay, there it is. Let's go back and get bigger. Go tell your buddies. Tell your buddies. All right, 6 bass. Let's see if we can get number 7. Number 7. Let's try number 7. All right, there it is. Number 7. I don't know if that's a bass though. Oh, it is. Okay, number 7. Looks like I'm gonna blow that number 3 number away. Inline spinner rocks. Okay. And so like I was saying, it's shallow here. And you can see over there by the bridge, it's inches. But there's that little hump or drop right there where they'll be lurking, and then back in here. It does get really clobbered in the summer though, when all that greenery starts growing. And when that happens, well, best thing to do is get you a fly rod and some poppers and just kind of drop that fly into the holes and kind of twitching it there and getting your strikes that way. And I'm standing on this culvert right here. Getting a little extra height distance so I can kind of see what's in front of me. All right. Okay, let's see what we got over here. Now, last one hit pretty close. Say about less than a foot of water right over here by these rocks. Okay. That's what happens when you fish a particular location. You start learning the spot, and right out here is a bunch of rocks, a lot of rocks, and they'll be just kind of lingering in that area at times. Oh, there's some turtles. Let's get away from the turtle. Don't want to catch a turtle today. All right, let's get back out there. All right, and then you can see it's casting real nice. I'm actually casting crosswind right now, so I'm able to not have to do as much thumb education as I was doing earlier, casting into the wind. Okay, and like I said, you can tweak the brakes, but Next thing you know, you're going to be casting to the side, or next thing you know, you're going to be casting the other direction again, and next thing you know, you're going to be having to switch and tweak again, and you know, that's just way too confusing. Oh, I had a little guy tipped it. There must be a bunch here kind of lurking about. Let's go back this way. Yeah, there must be a bunch here because I've gotten a number of hits. Normally I'm getting some onesie twosies. Let's get back down a little bit closer. Okay. Let's see if Mr. Bass wants to play. There we go. Oh, he hit it again. Shoot. Let's see, that's 6. So we're trying for number 7. Yeah, number 7. But who's counting? It's fun stuff, baby. Come on, Mr. Fisher. Let's go for number 7 right here. Number 7 right here in the shallows. Nope. Yeah, it's getting really loud because right there is the main street that I'm on, right there. And a lot of vehicles going by here in our city of Allen, just north of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Okay. All right. Let's go back up here. Let's go on the top of the bridge, give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So this is the main street right here. Very busy. It's gonna get loud, and when you come up here, 2 things happen. You'll see the bass, and they'll see you, and then they'll run off. All right. So, okay, right there, there's a bass just sitting there. He's not spooked. So I'm going slow again. Don't see anything else. Oh, no, right there. Little guy. All right. So let's go cast this direction. And let's see what may be biting here. And like I was saying, later on in the year, you'll come by here and you will see a lot of bass on beds. And that'll be your opportunity to maybe get some of the bigger bass while they're in that striking mode. Okay. All right, we're coming to the tail end of the pond where we started. We started over here and came around to this wall, and then I ended up going the other way. We'll close things out here, see if we can get bass number 7, and then we'll call it. But I do appreciate y'all joining today. It's been a fun time, and I hope to do some more of these, be it ultralight baitcasting, as well as pond fly fishing. And who knows, oh, there's a strike. And who knows, maybe some more of these live streams, because these are fun. I love doing these live streams. Why? Because you get to see stuff happening, and it's a two-way engagement. I can hear you guys throw some stuff at me, and maybe I have an answer. There is some craziness on these live streams. There'll be some weird comments here and there and some trolls. But hey, good thing about it is you can block them. So they're blockable. All right, let's see. Nothing yet. Okay, and there's the bridge again. Inches of water. In fact, you can see a little Dr. Pepper bottle just sitting there. But like I was saying, it's this side of that. There's a hit. It's this side that you want to fish, because that's where they're lurking. Okay. Let's see if we can get number 7, and then we'll call it. One more fish is what I used to tell my kids when they were growing up, and it was basically a lie. I friggin' lied. It wasn't one more fish. It was actually one more fish after I start counting, which means I hadn't started counting. Yeah, you got a chance, or if I ever have them on one of these, you can do a little Q&A there with them and talk about some of the pain fishing with Dad. All right, let's see if we can get number 7. Number 7, then we'll call it. All right, can we get number 7 this round? On the DIY inline spinner, gotten multiple hits, gotten multiple fish, but let's see if we can get number 7 this round right here. Okay. I was surprised though. I was thinking I was getting more hits over there, further down, as I was working the shallows or working the bank. but it seems like they're kind of more in this area. Okay, I'm working it slow. Okay, nope. Let's try it again. Let's go back where those rocks are. That's that culvert I was standing on. Let's see, I got a little overrun. I'm gonna have to recast it out here. Okay, all right. This may be it. This may be number 6 bass for this round instead of, I was hoping for 7. All right, let's clear this out. Okay. I was hoping for 7. Actually, I was hoping for 3, and I got it. But now I'm doing your classic fisherman deal where, hey, one more. I can get one more cast, one more fish. 5 minutes. I'll be done. And hours later, you're not done. All right, well, I'm gonna cast here. Let's see what happens, and then we'll call it. Come on, come on. Don't deny me. Come on, Mr. Bass. Talk to me. Be the fish, be the lure, be the line. Oh. All right, well, I appreciate you guys joining me today. Hopefully we can do this again. Until then, next time we'll catch y'all later, and good luck, good fishing.